चलो ठीक है, I forgot the mic actually. So ये हो गया आपका. After this you can see these new editions, these volumes, these are all the new volumes. You can see this literary term is also very important for the aspirants. This is all the new books, the newly designed, with all the question and answers written. 400 pages are extra included in it for all the question and answers designed, and this will help you to understand that what is the quality and what is the content to be written. And finally, the third option is the test and answer writing, which I have told you. Now, to tell you how to write, how to excel in the UPSC exam, because writing plays the most important and integral part to command your score. And 270, 280, 290 plus score is a good score to qualify the final IAS exam. So today I have taken these questions in front of you as a practice, and I will try to make a lot of effort in a very easy manner to make you understand that how you have to write the answers with the particular knowledge you have already attained under my guidance. As you might be able to see on the screen, पहला question है, AIDS preoccupation with old age and death in the poem The Tower. Leda's violation as a transformation of a wider tragedy in Leda and the Swan. September 1, 1939 is a failure due to incurable honesty. Autobiographical muses in The Burnt Norton by T.S. Eliot, and cynicism in Philip Larkin's poetry. So the first question which I am going to solve, listen it carefully, and that is AIDS preoccupation with old age. AIDS preoccupation with old age. इसको आप चाहें तो लिख लें, AIDS preoccupation with old age. एक बार क्वेश्चन फिर से दिखा दें बच्चों को. AIDS preoccupation with old age and death in the tower. And death in the tower. ठीक है? Now see. Correct. Now, it is sure that before you solve this question, you must have a good knowledge of the poem The Tower. So how would you start it? आप ऐसे शुरू करेंगे, The Tower is one of the most seminal poems. One of the most seminal poems. You will start like this, that The Tower is one of the most seminal poems that brings out his rumination, that brings out his rumination over what? Over old age. So this would be a good starting to get good marks. Now, इसको आगे कैसे बढ़ाएंगे आप? For AIDS के लिए old age did not imply loss of divine inspiration or creativity. If you see the poem, in fact, as he grows old, he becomes even more aristocratically rigorous, and even he becomes creative. he reminisces all the characters he had created. You can say Hanrahan is a principal character. It's created whom he gave his feelings, whom he gave his vision. It's, however, tries to limit, persists the limitations of old age that has left him crippled. He remembers Mrs. French, whom he had impacted through his poetry. And one more thing, old age is a running theme, not just in the poem The Tower, but also in Sailing to Byzantium, जहां पे आपको याद होगा वो लिखता है, "This is no country for old men," quote unquote. And in the Tower, he calls old age as decrepit and shows his anxiety of, of losing bodily vigor of writing. He says that he shall now give up on the muses who reside at Delphi, who send him poetic visions. So, old age in the Tower is seen not as a symbol of fecundity, but that of gradual degeneration, as Yeats in the last stanza says that he shall leave his soul to the young and inspiring souls. So this is the short answer of that short question which is asked in the UPSC first question, where you have to write 150 words approximately. Fine. Now, students, see the second question. I am removing this. Question number 2, which was given to you. Now, what is question number 2? Question number 2 is Leda's violation. Leda's देखिए ध्यान से, Leda's violation as a transformation of a, as a transformation of a what? A wider tragedy in Leda and the Swan. In Leda and Swan. Correct. Now see, this is the question, the short question. Now, Leda's, you all know the story behind this. Leda's rape in Leda and the Swan is one of the most complex, the most ambiguous moments appropriated from Greek mythology. Leda is raped by Jewess rather, in disguise of Swan. Her rape is undoubtedly violent. जब वो quote unquote में वो line है, her nape caught in his bill. However, you can say this violation is a transformation of wider tragedy, as her rape restores equilibrium in cosmos, which Zeus would have otherwise disturbed. We can also say like this in this answer, a wider tragedy of the rat and mechanizations of Zeus is averted, and Leda becomes the uh, the fertile allegory for birth of a new world. So her violation is not literal but mythologically a potent moment through which a new civilization gets born. So the violation, however, cannot be looked at merely as a regenerative uh, force. It certainly depicts Yeats's folly in giving any subjectivity to his female characters. And in the poem, वो line है ना, the slaughter of the thighs makes Zeus overpower her. So Yeats does not at all engage critically with this historical myth and furthers it to suit his cause of myth making. And this makes Leda's violation the central tragedy of the poem. Leda's violation is indeed not a passing tragedy, but the main violation. Correct. Now, we see the third question. The third question आपको याद होगा, स्क्रीन पे आप देख सकते हैं, September 1, 1939. September 1, 1939 is a failure due to incurable honesty. Now, what is this question? You must have read September 1, 1939. How many of you have read? आपको याद होगा, in September 1, 1939, Yeats describes the past as a love dishonest decade. And the poem shows how failure of civilizations and World War II happens due to the dishonesty of Europe. And the lies, here lies that Yeats want to unfold are the lies of modernity and enlightenment. As Yeats sit in the pub on the 52nd Street in the poem, he takes a trip down the love, depicting the gross human violations and a Europe marred with, you can say, ravage. The poem is a failure due to its blatant and honest portrayal of the World War II landscape, which did not go down with which a lot of imperial sympathizers. And towards the end of the poem, he indeed says that there are flashes of light all around the sky, which implies there is a glimmer of hope. Yet the honesty with which he depicts the unsurmountable odor of death shows how the poem accurately describes the post-war Europe filled with ravages and destruction. So, my dear students, this is how the answer is to be written word by word, scale by scale, naap tol ke. The words should be precise, should be condensed, full of meaning, full of heaviness, and the examiner should understand that yes, you have good knowledge of your subject as well as whatever is asked in the poem or the drama or the poetry or from your syllabus. So I am very much sure कि आपको हमारी क्लासेस, हमारे कंटेंट, हमारी टेस्ट सीरीज जो भी बच्चे ज्वाइन किए हुए हैं या कर रहेंगे, दे विल बी बेनिफिटेड. और 2027 का बैच इज गोइंग टू स्टार्ट वेरी सून. सो जल्दी जल्दी अपना रजिस्ट्रेशंस करा लीजिएगा. Those who are wishing for the 2026 must not delay at all, because they have to complete the entire thing with the full command of the subject under my guidance by 30th of January maximum, so that once they qualify pre, they have a lot of time to revise and to finish with the test series and answer writing. Thank you, students.